Can't check that off yet. Check. 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 That's finished. That's finished. That's finished. Check. Yikes! Looks like Yanni has good reason to be so paranoid. Hello? Anybody here? These weren't here before. That birthmark below his eye looks very familiar. Hey! Is someone out there? The door... Whew, I'm getting really... Once I get all these pipes connected, I can turn on the cold water and cool this place off. If I can just get cold water running through these pipes, I'll be okay. If I don't get these pipes adjusted soon, there. I may still be locked in, but at least I won't feel like a rotisserie chicken anymore.
Nancy!
Mr. Kessler? What are you doing down here?
I came down here looking for Ollie, but then I heard all this noise and thought I'd better check it out. Door got stuck again, huh? Say, you look kind of bedraggled. Are you all right?
I'm fine, and I'll be even better after you and I have a little talk.
Yeah, that's me. When I was a kid, this place was practically my second home. My late grandmother, Tilly Wentworth, used to own it.
Was she the reason you wrote that letter I found crumpled up in your room?
About 2 years ago, just before she died, my grandmother sold this place to Albert Moikwe without telling anyone in her family. From what I've heard about Moikwe, I'm pretty sure he bullied her into selling. I think he cheated her, and he cheated us, and that it's high time somebody...
Taught him a lesson by, say, putting Icicle Creek Lodge out of business?
I had nothing to do with that explosion, loose window, the food poisoning, the icy stairs, none of that stuff. You ask me, it's karma. The Moikways are just getting what's coming to them.
Since you used to spend so much time here, do you know if there's a way to get into Trapper Dan's needle?
You know that pyramid thing on the table over there by the entrance to the dining room? If you fool around with it until nothing but pigs show on the outside, this compartment will open up and inside will be this round magnetic thing that used to be Trapper Dan's special master key. Just hold it up by the needle and a hidden door will pop open.
Why did he need a special master key?
Who knows? I mean, let's face it. Living all by himself way out here in the wild, winter after long dark winter, Trapper Dan was probably stark raving bonkers.
I'd better get going.
Okie dokie.
Been there, done that. That's finished. Empty. If there was a special master key in here, it's gone now. Been there, done that.
Huh? Oh, now what?
I opened up that pyramid like you told me, but there was nothing inside.
There wasn't? Oh. Well, I'm afraid you're out of luck.
There's no other way to get into Trapper Dan's needle?
You know, Grandma Tilly once told me that if you turn the top of the pyramid 45 degrees, then fill all the boxes on the outside with one kind of animal, then another kind of animal, until you do that for all 4 animals, she said if you do that, you'd find a journal in there written by Trapper Dan himself.
Did you ever read it?
I was a kid. What would I want to read some crazy old coot's journal for?
I'd better get going.
Okie dokie.
Daniel Weissnitz, better known as Trapper Dan, I'll bet. The first thing you need to do is crack my cipher below, or just follow the moose, wolf, raccoon, and Mary. Looks like the rest is in some kind of code. Can't find Mary? Well, try pulling on that rope above the vaults. You'll just have to keep it taut. Mary always helped me with that. Mary must have been referring to his pet pig.
The office of Dr. Nikki Sabatini, professor of geology at the University of Alberta, Camrose. The sound of the beep? No, disregard all that. I'm here. Who's this?
My name is Nancy Drew. I'm staying at the Icicle Creek Lodge, and I recently came across some kind of device that had your phone number on it.
Describe the device.
Well, it has a spike on one end of it, and...
Well, I'll be darned. Where did you say you found it?
Well, actually, someone's dog was using it as a chew toy. She must have found it outside somewhere. You know what it is?
It's a geophone. Someone stole a whole crate of them from me when I was out on Skookum Ridge not too long ago.
What's a geophone?
If you stick it in the ground, a geophone will detect seismic waves and turn them into electrical signals, which are then transmitted to a computer so they can be recorded and eventually interpreted. It lets geologists like me make maps of mineral deposits and such without doing any digging. See, I was preparing to do a subsurface survey of the area using reflection seismology. I set up camp, stored all my equipment in a trailer, went into town for supplies, and when I came back, the trailer had been broken into, and all my geophones were gone. I was going to be the first person to do a full geological survey of the Icicle Creek drainage and the ridges surrounding it. Got grant money and everything. The person who ripped off my equipment sure screwed that up for me. If I ever get my hands on him... Oh!
When you say seismic waves, are you talking about earthquakes?
In a way. You see, the seismic waves that geophones detect are man-made. You detonate something on the surface of the ground, and the concussion creates seismic waves which bounce off different geological features differently, depending on the impedance of the feature. The reflected waves are what the geophones detect and transmit.
So, to put the geophones to use, you need to blow things up?
Correct.
That's interesting. So, if someone were looking for valuable mineral deposits, they might use geophones to do it?
If someone had the technical expertise, yes. Although reflection seismology is more typically employed to locate deposits of hydrocarbons, like oil and gas.
What types of mineral deposits are likely to be found around the Icicle Creek drainage?
All kinds of deposits. Silver, lead, uranium, molybdenum. I love saying that word, molybdenum. I think that's why I became a geologist. Just so I'd have a reason to say molybdenum. Anyway, if you come across any more of my geophones, or anything that would indicate who stole them, please, please, please let me know.
I will.
Good.
What do you know about dinosaur bones?
Precious little, I'm afraid. I know it's possible to find good specimens in Alberta, particularly in your area. But beyond that, paleontology's not really my thing. And all my paleo pals are currently off digging in the dirt on the other side of the world. So I'm afraid I can't refer you to anyone either.
Are dinosaur bones good for anything?
Other than studying? If you're a scientist, no. But because they're obviously rare, a lot of people collect them. In fact, I understand there's a pretty big black market for them.
Black market? You mean people pay money for dinosaur bones?
People pay big money for them.
I've taken you away from your job long enough.
One more thing. All of my geophones were hardwired to transmit at 990 kilohertz. So if you find any kind of receiver tuned to that frequency, check it out, because it could very well belong to the thief. Bye!
Order up.
Do this over and do it right this time.
Order up. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. That's finished. Still need to do that. Oops, haven't done that. That's finished. Oops, haven't done that. I think I'll keep one of these washcloths. Something tells me this radio belongs to Yanni, and if so, why is he hiding it? Some things are missing. Maybe Lou went out and took them with him. Order up. Order up. Order up. Order up. That's weird. The rock that had the fossil in it is gone. I'm not going out there again. Too dangerous. That looks like a Geiger counter. What a weird thing to be chewing on. This measures radioactivity. I wonder if ISIS found it outside somewhere or in here. Negative for Bill Kessler. Looks like it's not Yanni's. The scents match, which means those notes belong to Lou Talbot. Been there, done that. Check. That's finished. Much better. I was really cold. Now what? Lou Talbot, charged with trespassing, vandalism, and theft, found digging on private property, creating a piece of earthitecture, inspired by maverick artist Poppy Dada, of keeping the dinosaur bones dug up in the process. Dinosaur bones?
What's up?
Do you think I could have the Rex bone that you took from that plaque by the display case?
Dude, what makes you think I took some bone from some plaque?
Because it's probably a dinosaur bone, and I read about that incident in Montana, the one where you were caught digging up dinosaur bones.
I wasn't digging up dinosaur bones. I was creating art.
I don't think so. Of course, I could always call the police and see what they think.
All right, here's the deal. There's a lot of people out there who collect stuff like fossils and dinosaur bones, okay? They pay big bucks for them. And it just so happens paleontology's kind of my thing, so yeah, I collect bones and I sell them.
So when you saw those stools over there, you recognized them to be dinosaur bones and decided to try to unearth more.
Except I haven't unearthed anything. I'm not the one who's been making things go boom out there. I mean, I may have found a couple of good specimens in a couple of craters, but I didn't make the craters, and I don't know who did. There. That's the key to the closet in my room. You want the bone from that plaque? Go ahead and take it. Okay, dude. Excitement's over. Whose move?
Look at all these bones. Lou's been a busy guy. Here's the one I'm looking for, the Rex bone that's missing from that plaque.
What's up?
All those dinosaur bones you have in your closet, don't you think you should turn them over to the owner of this place, since you found them on her property?
You can't prove that. But since I'm all about peace and goodwill, how about I give her half of whatever I get for them? We'll go 50-50.
70-30. She gets 70%, you get 30.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Your move, dude.
Hello again.
I'll see you two later, okay?
Drop by anytime.
Trying to reanalyze that survey data, if that's what you're calling about.
Actually, it's not.
Oh, well, what do you need?
Think you could give me a hint?
About what?
A lot of Trapper Dan's journal is written in a code that consists of 2 lines of jumbled up letters. Any idea how to decipher it?
Sounds to me like a railroad code. You read it top to bottom and left to right. In other words, go from the first letter in the top line to the first letter in the bottom line, to the second letter in the top line, to the second letter in the bottom line, and so on. Keep going like that and see what gets spelled out.
Excellent.
Hey, my pleasure. Later.
This is the sheriff's office. Nobody's in the office right now, so you can either hang up and call back, or wait for the beep and leave us a message. Your choice.
I don't need to leave a message. Hi, Chantal. I finished that survey and faxed it to Tino.
I know. I was a little disappointed to hear that it had failed to pinpoint the culprit, but Tino said he's still analyzing the data, whatever that means. Anyway, what else is going on?
Do you have any idea what would make Bill Kessler think that your father cheated Tilly Wentworth when he bought Icicle Creek Lodge from her?
What does Bill Kessler know about it?
Apparently she was his grandmother.
Okay, here's what happened. Apparently, Tilly Wentworth got addicted to the shop-at-home channel and couldn't stop buying things. And pretty soon, she was in debt up to her eyeballs. So finally, totally desperate, she went to my father and offered to sell the lodge to him for just enough money to pay off her creditors. But there was one stipulation, that my father never tell her family the real reason she was selling.
Why not?
She was embarrassed. She didn't want her children and grandchildren to discover that she'd squandered their inheritance. So my father bought the lodge from her, and as it turns out, she passed away soon afterwards. My father kept his word and never said anything to her family, even when they started saying that he'd somehow forced her to sell the lodge to him at a ridiculously low price.
Wow, Bill Kessler has no idea.
Well, unfortunately, it's gotta stay that way, so don't tell him. It's what his grandmother wanted.
Did you know that Ollie is building a trap to catch the wolf that's been hanging around?
No, but he told me he'd been having trouble shooting it, so good for him. Whatever it takes to get rid of it.
But why does he need to get rid of it? It's not hurting anything.
It's freaking out my guests, which means it's hurting my bottom line, especially on top of everything else that's been happening.
But why not, say, call a wolf sanctuary and have them come and take the wolf away? That would certainly be more humane.
Look, Ollie's had a lot of experience with varmints or whatever he calls them, so I have to assume that he knows best. In fact, I think he used to hunt wolves for food. Or was that bears? Ugh, lions, tigers, bears, wolves, they're all a huge insurance risk for someone in my business. So I don't care how Ollie does it. I just want that wolf gone. ASAP.
You'll hear from me again later.
Good. Talk to you soon.
Springvale Hospital, Nurse Blake speaking.
Hi, my name's Nancy Drew. I'm trying to locate a man named Julius McQuaid. I think he may have been treated there on Christmas Eve.
Oh, yes, Julius McQuaid. I remember him well. Was he a relative, dear?
Was? You mean he passed away?
Yes, dear. Viral pneumonia. As I recall, we admitted him and he was gone less than 24 hours later.
Well, I wasn't a relative and I didn't really know him. We had kind of a mutual friend.
From his appearance, it looked as if he'd spent the last several years holed up somewhere in the wilderness. That's why I remember him. I felt sorry for him, living all alone like that.
Actually, he wasn't alone. He was with our mutual friend.
Well, that's good to hear.
Do you still have his personal effects?
When he came in, all he had were the clothes on his back. No wallet, nothing. We turned his clothes over to the authorities along with his remains. But last I heard, they weren't able to locate any relatives either. I'm sure by now he's been cremated.
Well, thank you for the information.
Sorry the news couldn't have been better. Goodbye, dear. Hi, Nance.
Hey, Ned.
Everything all right?
Lou Talbot admitted that the real reason he came to the lodge was to find dinosaur bones, but he denied being the one who's been setting off explosives around here.
So do you believe him?
Not for a second. I think he could be trying to scare everyone into leaving the lodge so that Chantal would be forced to shut it down. That way he could dig up all the bones around here in peace.
Well, keep an eye on him then. If you find any connection between him and those explosions, he could be your guy.
What I can't figure out is who left those old photos of Bill Kessler for me in the sauna.
Someone left pictures for you in the sauna?
Yeah, they proved that Bill Kessler lied when he said this was his first visit to Icicle Creek Lodge. Turns out his grandmother used to own the place.
So someone wanted you to know that Kessler was lying?
Actually, right after I found the pictures, the door closed behind me and I couldn't get out. If I hadn't managed to fill the pipes with cold water instead of hot, and if Bill Kessler hadn't finally opened the door, we wouldn't be having this conversation, or any other for that matter.
Someone left incriminating pictures of Kessler for you, then tried to lock you in the sauna?
Looks that way.
But if the idea was to lock you in, why bother to leave you the pictures? Why not just lure you down there, push you inside, then lock the door after you?
Maybe someone left the pictures for me and someone else followed me downstairs and locked me in. Maybe the two are totally unrelated.
In any case, the fact that Kessler is the one who got you out pretty much lets him off the hook, huh?
Not necessarily. Maybe Kessler opened the door only because he figured by then my goose had been cooked, as it were. He did look pretty surprised when he saw me.
Well, be that as it may, one thing is for darn sure. No more saunas for you.
Guadalupe Camillo admitted she came to Icicle Creek Lodge not to watch birds, but to protect the wolf.
So you were right.
Yep.
And all the accidents?
Well, I suppose that she and that organization she belongs to might feel the best way to protect the wolf is by forcing Chantal to shut down the lodge, but...
But what?
Well, for one thing, she's not at the lodge anymore. Ollie kicked her out.
That doesn't exonerate her. She could have been working with someone who's still there.
She's just so passionate about the wolf. I respect that, and I guess it makes me want to give her the benefit of the doubt.
She lied to you once, Nancy. Just remember that.
Bill Kessler is convinced that Chantal's father cheated his grandmother when she sold him the lodge, but Bill denies that he's been sabotaging the lodge to get back at him.
As a construction guy, it's a sure bet he knows about explosives, though, right?
Yes, but I think he's telling the truth. I mean, he didn't have to admit that his grandmother used to own this place. He could have made something up. The fact that he told the truth, incriminating as it is, makes me think he's innocent.
Or maybe he's just not good at making things up. Don't let your guard down, Nancy. Sounds to me like he's still a suspect.
That's all I have to report.
I miss you, you know.
I miss you too. Bye, Ned.
Hello?
Hi, Lupe. This is Nancy Drew again.
Is everything all right?
The wolf's fine. I just have some questions.
Like what?
Have you ever heard of someone named Julius McQuaid?
Julius McQuaid? No, doesn't ring any bells.
I think he's the reason why the white wolf isn't afraid of humans. He kind of made a pet out of her.
Well, in that case, I wish I did know him, so I could smack him upside the head. It's his fault the wolf is in this predicament. People should never make pets out of wild animals. Ever.
I'd better get going.
Call me the instant anything happens.
Oops, haven't done that. Check. Still need to... Can't check that off yet. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Still need to do that.
How can I help you?
Why do you have a radio hidden away in your room?
How do you know about that?
All I know is when I got done cleaning the moose head, that compartment was open. And when I looked in it, there was the radio. Now you answer my question.
I use that radio to communicate with my coaches. It's a special radio. It scrambles the signal so that my competitors cannot listen in.
How did you know there was a secret compartment in your room?
The first night I was here, I searched for bugs, something which, due to the cunning of my competitors, I have become very good at. I discovered that by pushing on the moose eye, a compartment opened up. What I don't know is, did you really open that compartment by mistake, or were you up to something else? How do I know you are not working for them?
If I was working for the competition, why would I have told you about finding your radio?
Who else have you told about the radio?
No one.
I believe you, Nancy. So if I find out you're lying, both of us will be very sorry.
Do you have any proof that your competitors are out there spying on you?
When one has enemies, it's prudent to assume that they are always close by. They are here, Nancy. Make no mistake.
You're busy, so I'll let you go.
We'll talk again, I'm sure.
What you need?
I'll let you get back to work.
Good.
What's up?
Well, I'll let you go.
Ditto, dude.
Hello again.
I'll see you two later, okay?
Glad you dropped by.
I'm staying out of there until I have to fix a meal. Order up. Order up. Order up.
Lou Talbot's gone, in case you didn't know. Just up and left.
Do you have any idea why?
Probably sick of salmon. The good news is, you don't have to do the cooking anymore. I can handle it from here on out.
I'd better get back upstairs.
See you later.